So hey students, welcome to Vedantu NCERT Solutions class 11th and 12th, where we provide you the complete NCERT solutions from the class 11th and 12th for all the chapters, could be on all the subjects. So today we have a question. Today we have a question from the chapter Plant Kingdom. Now let's quickly read the question and let's try to solve it. So when and where does the reduction division, important to note, when and where does the reduction division takes place in the life cycle of liverworts, mosses, ferns, gymnosperms and angiosperms, right? So what do you understand by reduction division? Reduction division means what? Reduction division means meiosis, right? Reduction division means meiosis. Then what is equational division? Comment down what is equational division. If you know what is equational division, comment it down. So we know reduction division is meiosis. So whenever meiosis takes place, right, whenever meiosis takes place, there is change in ploidy level, there is reduction in the ploidy, that is diploid to haploid. Very important to note. So every other case which we will be discussing today, there is a reduction in the ploidy, there is reduction from the diploid to the haploid. Clear? Now let's quickly understand what exactly happens in the case of liverworts and mosses. So we know, हमको पता है कि liverworts और mosses दोनों है ना, दोनों क्या होते हैं? Bryophytes होते हैं. दोनों क्या होते हैं? Bryophytes. ठीक है? So liverworts और mosses. So liverworts और mosses में एक स्पेशल स्ट्रक्चर होता है, राइट? स्पेशल स्ट्रक्चर होता है जिसको हम प्लांट बॉडी बोलते हैं. हमको पता है कि लिवरवर्ट्स और ब्रायोफाइट्स में दो तरह के प्लांट बॉडी होते हैं, एक गैमेटोफाइटिक प्लांट बॉडी एज वेल एज स्पोरोफाइटिक प्लांट बॉडी. जब स्पोरोफाइटिक प्लांट बॉडी होता है, सो लेट मी राइट इट डाउन. Sporophytic plant body is differentiated, right? Differentiated into three different structures. What are three different structures here? It's differentiated into foot, seta and capsule. Foot, seta and capsule. Now within this capsule, right, within this capsule we have a structure known as spore mother cell. Spore mother, once again let me read it properly, spore mother cell. Now this spore mother cell will undergo what? This spore mother cell will undergo meiosis, right? Undergoes meiosis to produce the spores, and this spores is haploid. So from diploid to haploid. So when does it happen? When does it happen? It happens during the production of spores. And where does it happen? It happens in the capsule. It happens in the capsule of sporophytic plant body. Clear? When and where does it happen? Now let's quickly understand when and where does it happen in the case of your ferns. So ferns are also known as what? Ferns are also known as pteridophytes. And we know pteridophytes has a special structure known as sporophylls. It has what? Sporophylls. And this sporophylls, upon the sporophylls, it's a leaf-like structure. Upon the sporophylls, you have a special structure known as sporangia, right? Sporangia. Now, this sporangia has again a special structure, internal structure known as spore mother cell. Now, this spore mother cell will undergo meiosis. Will undergo meiosis to produce spores. So where does it happen? It happens where? It happens in the sporangia. In the sporangia, which is present on the sporophyll in the case of your ferns, and which has a structure known as spore mother cells, which undergoes meiosis to produce your spores. I hope that is clear. In the case of pteridophytes, are also known as ferns. Now let's look at gymnosperms. Now let's look at gymnosperms. Our special gymnosperms. Because gymnosperms has two special structures now, right? Unlike your ferns and bryophytes, the gymnosperms has two special structures known as microsporophylls, right? Micro dot here, microsporophylls, microsporophyll and megasporophyll, right? Megasporophyll, microsporophyll as well as megasporophyll. Now these micro and megasporophyll has again a structure known as microsporangia or microsporangium, right? Microsporangia and megasporangia, right? Micro and megasporangia. Now within this microsporangia, meiosis takes place. So you know where now. Where does meiosis takes place? Inside micro as well as megasporangia. Here, in the case of your gymnosperms, meiosis takes place in the micro as well as megasporangia to give rise to pollen grains here. Pollen grains from the microsporangia and megaspore. And megaspore in the case of your megasporangia. Clear? So we get two different structures now, micro as well as mega, and both the structures are haploid. Both the structures are haploid. Clear? As I mentioned earlier, wherever there is formation of spores, wherever there is formation of gametes, meiosis takes place. Because you are decreasing the ploidy, there is a decrease in ploidy, that is 2n, 2n, 2, 2n, 2n. Clear? 2n, 2n. Now let's look at higher plants. Higher plants, also known as flowering plants, also known as your angiosperms. Angiosperms, the higher plants, most evolved compared to everything, where flowering takes place. Now, flower. Coming to flower. Flower has reproductive structures. It could be male as well as female reproductive structures. It could be present in the same flower. It could be present in different flowers. Clear? Now, these reproductive structures has what? Stamen in the case of your male, pistil in the case of your female. So, male reproductive structure is known as your stamen. Female reproductive structure is known as pistil. Right? Pistil. Stamen is made up of how many parts? Two parts. Filament, the slender part, as well as anther, which is present on the top. So, inside the anther, the meiosis takes place now. Right? Inside the anther, meiosis takes place to give rise to pollen grains. Now, in the case of pistil, it is made of three parts: stigma, top receptive parts, style, long filament type, and then you have basal, the ovaries. Basal, we have what? The ovary. Right? Within the ovary, the meiosis takes place to give rise to the egg. And these two, both the structures are again haploid in nature. So that answers the question: when and where does the meiosis takes place? Also known as reduction division takes place in the case of your ferns, bryophytes, as well as gymnosperms and angiosperms. I hope this video is useful to you, and hopefully you have learned something new today. If you learned something today, like the video and subscribe to the channel if you do not want to miss any of the new content which will be coming on this channel, because we will be solving your entire NCERT, all the chapters, all the subjects: physics, chemistry, maths, biology. So until next time.